Jammu and Kashmir is currently witnessing history. A 10-year wait has ended and elections have kicked off in Jammu and Kashmir with enthusiasm, peace and hope for a better future. With record voter turnout in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, the voters are casting their mandate and there is hope of record voters taking part in the J&K elections.
Today for this episode of Road Stop Here, we have reached here at the Central Shalting constituency of Kashmir region, from where Congress President Tariq Hamid Kara is contesting election.
Central Shalting is one of the 90 constituencies in the Jammu and Kashmir Legislative Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir, a northern state of India. Shalting is also part of the Srinagar Lok Sabha constituency. It has a total population of around 1.5 lakhs, out of which 1.07 lakhs are eligible to vote. 95% of the population is urban and 5% is rural. 98% of the population comprises Muslims, out of which 6% are Shia Muslims, 1% are Sikhs and Kashmiri Pandits. Central Shalting is amongst 26 segments spread across Srinagar, Gandarbal and Budgam in Kashmir and Rajouri, Poonch and Riyasi districts of Jammu. It's currently famous as a residential area. It is located on the banks of the Jhelum River and is famous for the Gurdwara and Masjid located over there. In 2022, as per the orders that were issued by a 3-member delimitation commission, massive changes were recommended in the already existing assembly segments, adding new constituencies in place of the older ones. 10 assembly constituencies have been replaced by new assembly constituencies, and one new constituency has also been added, which is Tregam, which is located in Kupwara. In Srinagar, out of 8 constituencies, 4 have been replaced. Those which have been replaced include Haba Kadal, Amira Kadal, Batamalu and Zadibal, while new constituencies added in their place are South Srinagar, Chandpura, Central Shalting and Zonimar. Tariq Hamid Kara was born on 28th June 1955 and is an Indian politician from Jammu and Kashmir and was a member of parliament to the 16th Lok Sabha from Srinagar. He was born in Batmalu in Srinagar to Shri Abdul Hamid Kara and Srimati Kaukab Jabin. He is a graduate and professionally involved as an advocate agriculturist, horticulturist, educationist and social worker. He is currently serving as the president of the Jammu and Kashmir PCC. He is a former PDP leader who quit the party in 2016. He was known to be a fierce critic of the BJP-PDP alliance that lasted for around 3 years before ending in 2018. He joined Congress in 2017, a few months after he resigned from the Lok Sabha and the basic membership of the PDP. Kara used to have a strong grassroots connection in this constituency and is also believed to be the man behind the introduction of Noor Mohammad Sheikh in mainstream politics, who later won the 2014 assembly elections from the Batamalu constituency. Today, Kara is seen arriving at the spot where he is set to address soon. They welcome him with garlands as he enters the spot. An enthusiastic crowd cheers on as Kara is all set to address them. Posters in support of Kara adorn the boundary wall. People of all ages are visible amongst the crowd cheering on for Kara.
During the campaign trail, we have reached in one of our local colony over here in the Central Shalting, where Tariq Hamid Kara, he have reached with the workers, and definitely it's a strategy of the Congress to reach every worker in this area so that they can get enough number of votes to defeat the opposition candidates. You could see that he has been welcomed here by the local workers as well as the people over here. He is a former minister, member parliament, so that's why he has enough craze over here as far as the people are concerned. कितना भरोसा है ये तारिक हमीद करा साहब चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं आपकी कंस्टिट्यूएंसी से, क्या लग रहा है?
100% वही जीतेंगे. उन्होंने काम भी किए हैं, उनकी क्रेडिबिलिटी भी बहुत ज़्यादा है एंड ही इज़ वेरी पॉपुलर अमंग द मासेस, सो 100% जीत उन्हीं की होगी.
एक चीज़ देखी जा रही है कि जब चुनाव हो रहा है इस बार का 10 सालों के बाद, कई तरह की चीज़ें हैं यहाँ पर. जैसे इंजीनियर रशीद बहारा है, वो भी चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं. एक तरफ अल्ताफ बुखारी, नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस, PDP. लगता है कि मल्टी कॉर्नर फाइट होगी.
मल्टी कॉर्नर फाइट तो हर इलेक्शन में होती है. दिस इज़ नॉट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. हर इलेक्शन एक चैलेंज होता है, बट करा साहब की अपनी एक क्रेडिबिलिटी है. ही इज़ पॉपुलर अमंग द मासेस, और जो उन्होंने काम किया है इन हिज टेन्योर एज अ मिनिस्टर, उसको लोग एक्नॉलेज करते हैं. उनकी एक क्लीन इमेज है, उसको लोग एक्नॉलेज करते हैं. एंड मोर ओवर जो उन्होंने 2016 में रेजिग्नेशन दिया अगेंस्ट द एट्रोसिटीज़ कमिटेड अगेंस्ट for the atrocities which were committed for against the people, that was a very plus point in his favor, क्योंकि जो उन्होंने वो resignation दिया, that was for the people, and that was a very pro people decision, and उस चीज का उनको बहुत फायदा मिलेगा इस इलेक्शन में इंशाल्लाह.
Speak to some other workers over here and people over here. आप क्या कहेंगी?
मैं करो सबकी मिसेस हूँ, मैं क्या कर सकती
अभी
हूँ.
मैं पूछ रहा हूँ आपसे कि क्या लगता है ये इस मौके में बिल्कुल आप उनके साथ शाना बशाना खड़ी हैं, कितना बड़ा चैलेंज है, क्योंकि अब वो चुनाव जो पुराने तरह के चुनाव नहीं है, एक तरह की मल्टी कॉर्नर फाइट.
एक्चुअली लोगों को सारे काम का पता है जो काम उन्होंने किए हैं. जो बाकी कैंडिडेट्स हैं वो सारे प्रॉक्सी कैंडिडेट्स हैं, क्योंकि वो पैसा भी बांट रहे हैं, बाकी चीज़ें भी करते हैं. पैसे से कोई इलेक्शन नहीं जीतता है. अगर पैसे से कोई इलेक्शन जीत सकता था तो अल्ताफ बुखारी साहब पहले भी इलेक्शन जीत सकते थे.
यहाँ जिस एरिया में आप कैंपेन कर रही हैं इस वक्त, यहाँ लोगों की क्या समस्याएं हैं जो आप मिलते हैं, लोग क्या बताते हैं आप?
लोगों का काम हमने पहले भी किया है. ये आज सड़कों वगैरह का इलेक्शन नहीं है. आज ये अगेंस्ट बीजेपी हैं. वोट हमको इस्लाम को बचाना है. लोग ये जो छोटी छोटी लड़कियां हैं इनको बचाना है. कश्मीरियत अपनी बचानी है. कश्मीरियत अपनी बचानी है. ये जो बेचारे गरीब हमारी नौकरियां हैं ये बाहर वालों को दी जाती हैं, हमको नहीं दी जाती. यहाँ का पब्लिक जो है वो उस कम्पीट में कहाँ मुकाबला कर सकता है.
We can see you know the small kids even holding the Congress flag and moving here and there. आप लोग कहाँ जा रहे हो कैंपेन के लिए?
यस.
क्या लगता है कि किसके साथ चल रहे हो? चलो भाई.
तारिक हमीद के साथ.
तारिक साहब के साथ. ये बताइए कि आप भी बोलेंगे कुछ? कहाँ जा रहे हो अभी? क्या लग रहा है जिस तरीके से लोग चुनाव हैं इस बार, चुनाव लग रहा है कि आम चुनाव हैं या कुछ अलग तरह की है?
जी नहीं सर, जहाँ तक तारिक हमीद करार साहब का सवाल है कि वो तो हमेशा से लोगों के पे मेहरबान रहे हैं और इंशाल्लाह हम लोग भी उन पे मेहरबान हैं. तो
वोट मिलेंगे
इंशाल्लाह. हद से
मुकाबला किसके साथ
निकलेगी तारिक?
मुकाबला किसके साथ?
मुकाबला बीजेपी के साथ है और दूसरी पार्टियों के साथ है. आम आदमी पार्टी, बहुत सारी पार्टियां इनके साथ मुकाबला है. लेकिन जहाँ तक तारिक हमीद करार साहब का सवाल है, उन्होंने हमेशा लोगों के लिए अपनी सीट भी छोड़ी है 2016 में. तो इस बात को लेकर के हम इंशाल्लाह इस बार भी लीड अच्छी निकालेंगे.
Thank you for speaking with us. Or you can see that how people they are saying, even small kids holding the Congress flag and moving out with them, and definitely it is a support. But how he's going to convert this, masses towards towards the vote bank, that has to be seen.
Kara is sitting amongst the crowd where his son and his wife are also present. Right in front of them is a person who is seen serving the gathering with traditional tea and snacks.
So he's saying that I took politics as a politics, but I took it as a dedicated work and definitely work for a worship, and that's why I'm surviving, and I'm thankful to the people of this area, those who always stands with me, and they are standing today as well to support me. So these kinds of small gatherings he's addressing to ensure that he will get enough number of votes to kind of fight this the opposition leaders. And in this particular constituency, other than Tariq Hamid Kara, former MLA is also contesting as an independent who left PDP and then Apni Party, and also National Conference candidate, and the PDP candidate is also one of a challenging person whom he has to fight.
Let us listen in to Kara and find out what he wants for the state of Jammu and Kashmir.
When we talk about Kashmir, it's all about tradition, culture, and culture of the Kashmir. And we have reached, while we are doing our road stop here in one of a house where Tariq Hamid Kara was doing a campaign, and you could see that how he's sitting and definitely following his tradition, and also ensuring that this could reach to the younger generation, the coming generation. Let's speak to Tariq Hamid Kara. So thank you for speaking with us. How challenging the situation is in Kashmir and Jammu and Kashmir when Jammu and Kashmir has to go for an election after 10 years?
See, we have lots of challenges, though all elections are alike. But this time, it's a different kind of an election. It's not developmental based all along, or it's not focused on developments also only. This election is an election where we have to fight for our identity, our self-respect, our cultural inroads which are being done. We have to fight it out, and we have to fight out the nefarious designs of BJP or RSS, which they have been garnering and they have been cherishing about it for the last 100 years. Of course, to some extent they succeeded in it, but now we have decided that whatever is lost, we have to protect whatever is still with us, and that is why this election has a different connotation, and this election has a peculiar kind of situation.
What is the basic issues what you are trying to address? Because after 10 years, assembly election is taking place. People have grudges, people have complaints that they are not having any local representatives. So what are the major issues what you are talking to the people, and what you are going to ensure?
See, I have divided it into two parts. One are the larger issues or the national issues, what we call all sub-national issues, and one are the other one is the developmental issues or the complaints of the people with regard to misgovernance and other issues. As far as the larger issues are concerned, you have seen that since BJP came into power 2014, from that day onwards, the political spectrum of the entire country has changed. Political outreach has changed, and it is a period when the politics is being done by oppressive means, repressive means. What we call as jackboot policy. Today's governance is not relating to people, it is to dictate people. And I call it, BJP is a democratically orchestrated autocracy. Okay? And that autocracy we are not going to accept. They have done what they have done. Henceforth, the people of Jammu and Kashmir have decided that we have to rise above the occasion and stop this orchestrated autocracy.
They are saying that, after 2010 and after the abrogation of 370, things are normal in Kashmir. There is a normalcy restored in the Kashmir. Development is taking place. How do you see this?
When you go to a jail, you will find everything normal. Okay? You will find it's a very calm and quiet atmosphere in a jail. Jammu and Kashmir today is a big open jail. Of course, perceptionally, certain things have changed. There are no stone peltings, there is no calendar, whatever they are glorifying. But they don't understand that they are doing it by way of jackboot policy. They have created such a fear psychosis here that nobody can protest. It is a democratic right of a citizen, it is a constitutional right of a citizen to protest. Today, if a student protests, that student is sent to jail under UAPA, under FIR or whatever, or even Public Safety Act. Even if ladies come out, there was a time when there would be shortage of water supply or closure of water supply, they would come on the roads and put their utensils on the roads and would close the traffic from both the sides. But nobody would apply repressive and oppressive measures on them. They were not put into these FIRs and other things. Today you will find even those ladies are scared of coming out to protest for that. Earlier there would be protests for electricity. Earlier there would be protests for not having transformers put back in time. I mean, all sorts of protests you would see, which is the essence of democracy, democratically. So now everybody is scared.
They are saying that, normalcy is restored and development is taking place. Flyover is there, AIMS is constructed, IIT, IIMs. You don't think these are the developmental projects which basically has changed the picture?
Of course, these are the developmental projects started by UPA, and now the ribbon cutting part BJP has got to their advantage. Otherwise, tell us which new projects they have started. Let them come out. Let them issue a white paper, which new projects they have started. Even railway. I mean, why do we forget these things? This was started by Dr. Manmohan Singh, UPA 1, UPA 2. Those projects which left, which were not completed earlier, got completion. In fact, we say that they took 10 years to complete those projects which were started by 10 years before by UPA.
In the recent rally in Ododa, Prime Minister attacked Congress, Vice President Rahul Gandhi. He also attacked, your partner, National Conference, and says that if they will come in power, once again stone pelting will start, terrorism will start. How could you see this?
They are creating a fear psychosis. And it is good that they are time and again accusing our leadership, naming our leadership. That shows that they have some fear about our alliance or about our leader Rahul Gandhi. Otherwise, alliances have been on their part also, alliances have been on our part also. I don't know. What is actually scaring them is they had put their chessboard in order vis-a-vis Jammu and Kashmir, what they have to do. But once they found that the chessboard is not going to work, they now are accusing this alliance. Why don't they accuse this alliance? Why didn't they accuse PDP that day when they were their partners? Why didn't they accuse National Conference that day when they were their partners? So it is only when they come nearer to Congress, everybody becomes anti-national or they become tainted. But when they are with BJP, the deterrent works.
Do you think Engineer Rashid and other independent like Jamaat people, they are going to be a threat in the coming election for you?
See, why do we use the word threat? Politics is battle of ideas. Why do we make each other threatening people like as if...
challenge.
Okay, yes. As a challenge, yes. When it comes to the two sections of the society which you mentioned, it is good that they are today in the democratic process. We should be happy, and even people at the helm of affairs should be happy that after a long time they have realized that this is the only way to do some good to the society or do some good to the nation. As far as the challenge is concerned, they have their own agenda which they have to follow or to take it to the people. As far as I am concerned, I have come forward with on a note of positivity. I am least bothered who is released, who is put behind, who is saying what, who is being named. My job and my duty is to follow the roadmap of positivity. That is what I am doing.
National Conference blaming that they are the B part of the BJP.
Who?
National Conference.
Who blames whom?
National Conference, President Farooq Abdullah says, and Umar Abdullah says that they are the B part of BJP. Like they were released from the jail. Jamaat, at the same time started contesting election. They are saying that this is only the BJP-backed parties and the people.
As far as I am concerned, as I said, I have come on a positive note. I am following that positive note. And if anyone speaks anything about them, I don't think I have any right to comment on that. I think they are the best judges who could say, or this whatever comment they have made could be asked from them.
That's all on today's The Road Stop on NewsX. Keep watching us.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.